CDC put out a warning today that walking alone in the woods could be harmful to your health. Individuals with the PACE virus were discovered walking in wooded areas. What they found more disturbing is they were walking in groups of 3 or more. Never before have we seen what could be described as an organized group of infected individuals. When pressed, Civil Defense stated this is most likely a random event. They explained that individuals who were infected in groups would typically stay the group setting post-infection. It also heralded a warning that the infection is spreading at an alarming rate, possibly more so than models have expected. Again, we do not know fully how the illness is spread or the nature of the illness. Doctors from many different areas of academia have considered bacterial, viral, and even fungal. One doctor explained it's also very difficult to study the pathogen as the illness itself has been raised to a high threat level, meaning very few locations can legally test or grow the pathogen in a controlled environment, and they are not allowed access to actual infections to test, leaving the question, is much of these tests theoretical? Which brings us to our next story. A report from Washington has determined that 20% of the hospitals in the U.S. have currently closed due to staffing issues. The majority of reports are due to sickness or injury, while a rising percentage were refusing to come to work, stating risks of attack. This is happening even in hospitals where security has been increased. This report is what is truly unlocking the spread, as it suspects that hospitals in other countries are faring even worse. Although videos of train attacks popped up in China, Japan, and Korea, much of the state media have questioned the claims of validity of that media. When the University of Hospital of Zhengzhou was reported as fallen in a leaked document by the AP, it was hard to deny that something serious was transpiring. China has reported lockdowns now in major areas such as Wuhan, and next steps are allegedly banning open-air markets. What was initially thought as silence from some areas such as Kenya has questioned the variability to contact them at all. Could the situation globally be one of dire conditions? We'll have to wait and see. Reports that some residents in the southeastern part of the U.S. have taken to boarding up property even though they are not being described as in areas that are affected by the illness. Shelves are being cleaned of items such as water and non-perishable goods like canned food. One individual purchasing stated it's much worse than they're describing. Much worse. The Board of Psychological Affairs issued a statement describing a fear of hysteria that may have set in to many in the eastern parts of the U.S., especially if the supply of goods in certain areas dry up, and believe this hysteria could easily spread to other areas. They cited what was perceived by many as a lack of action to deter the spread of the illness and the impact of social media and media at large by simply doing their job or reporting the information they have as exacerbating the situation. It's hard for us to argue from our newsroom, as they followed up with the news and other media sources are integral to finding a solution and spreading these solutions. But the question was, is the cure worse than the disease? Media sources made it clear that all individuals should stay calm in the situation and hope that social media itself would add a disclaimer that simply informed that anxiety in times like this is expected but should be avoided. It's also now clear that the election may also be affected by the illness, as press appearances by both candidates has been canceled.